Hey, how's everybody doing today? If you're new here, wanted to welcome you in. This is going to be kind of a semi-impromptu stream. I'm going to need your guys' help with the audio volumes, everything. If anything's too loud, if the game volume's too loud, if my voice is too loud, quiet, either way, you gotta let me know so I can adjust things. I'm going to be kind of adjusting things on the fly. I'm still kind of testing, still kind of new at streaming. But I did want to welcome you in, and I appreciate you being here. Today we're going to be going over all the different things that are new in... Hey, what's going on, Mama? We're going to be going over all the new things that are in 2.0 in comparison to 1.4. We're going to be checking out the new zombie types, the weather system, a whole lot of things to go over, a whole lot of things to do. So first, let me show you what I got going on here. These are all the settings that I'm going to be running. We are Blood Moon 7. A lot of this stuff isn't really going to matter that much because we're going to be manipulating a lot of it during the just during the play. It's good to see you here, Mama. I'm really glad you're here. UKG, Tug, Unknown Gamer, thank you for being here. IMRU, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I'm supposed to have a chat box through Streamlabs. For whatever reason, couldn't get that going. I'm also supposed to have a subscribe notification. Also, don't know if that's active or not, but we will find out. Music can come down many decibels. Was louder than you. Uh-oh. That's not what I want to hear. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I will definitely change that up real quick. Hey, there's the chat box. It's actually working now. All right, so all of this stuff is going to be changing. It doesn't really matter for tonight. I think I said that because we're manipulating a whole bunch of different stuff. The advanced settings, everything's set to basically the default settings. Multiplayer is not going to matter. What do you say we jump in and start it up? We got a lot to go over in this. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. We have a lot to go over in this. I have like 15 pages worth of notes that I'm working on, working with. The new zombie types, tougher variants, Plague Spitter, Frost Claw. Ooh, new sound. Nice. The Dire Wolves now showing up at game stage level 127. Grace's new skin, Charged Zombies, Infernal Orange Zombies. And just in case, I did start up a playthrough. This is not a glitch in the game. I started up a playthrough. I wanted to create a world. Let me turn on dev mode and creative mode so you can see what I got going on. I wanted to create a world that had a road going through it. And if you use the dev commands, you get floating plants to create roads. If I go forward, it's all carved out and it's all the way through the entire world. This is going to be the new Rebel Arena. And I wanted my Horde bases to be off of the main road. Also, if there is anything that you guys wanted to see tested, I already hear a zombie coming in. If there is anything that you guys wanted to see tested, let me know in chat, and I'll make sure to go over that. And I don't know, what do you guys think? Should we start off with the new zombie types, or should we start off with the weather system? Drop down. There's also been changes to the perk system. As you can see, I have 0 perks, and just in case you didn't, I have 0 kills. I didn't kill a single zombie. Level 1, game stage 1. And everything that I have is level 1, so. Alright, let's see if we can spawn in. There's an insect animal swarm. I see the bowler off in the distance over there. You know what? Should probably start off with an Arlene, right? I know she's not new, but just to see if there's anything new with their patterns or anything like that. She's looking pretty the same. Nothing really different about her. And we're going to turn on God mode just so we could check out their healths too. I'm also going to be going over the frames per second to see, because I was told that this game is super optimized now. Much more than it was anyway. And right now I'm at 123 frames, 117, 119. I don't have any big cities in this world, so I can't really go and spawn in any big cities. I can show you the map that I'm working with. So this is the entire map. You see no cities, no traders, nothing like that. But I do have my road built. It goes all the way through mountains and everything. What did I do? Wrong button. And there's our first death. If you hear me giving you two different numbers, one is my CPU and one is my GPU. For a baseline, they're both roughly about 24. You didn't get the update. It just updated today. It is the... Are you on console? If you are on console, it might be different because console, they kind of wait for the stable to drop, and this is the experimental. I did apply for Streamer Weekend. I did not meet the qualifications to get it. If you didn't get the update, go into your Steam settings. Go to, what is it, profile? Let me pull up Steam. See if I can help you out. So if you go under Steam settings, properties, and then go under the betas, under beta participation, you have to get the latest experimental unstable build, if that helps. Check that out. If you're on... You are on PC. Yeah, that's the only way through Steam. That's the way you gotta do it. You have to go through the... What did I just had it up. Properties, betas, latest experimental, unstable build, and you should get the update for the game then. I hope that helps. And I need to get this back up. Hey, no problem. Happy to help. All right, so we got 2 kills and 1 death. Our first death is from falling. We're gonna go. Let's get one of the new guys in here. See if I can find him. Burnt Infernal. That's gonna be the yellow glowing. Yeah. And look at their health. 1792 health. There's no way I'm taking on a Burnt Feral. And if the Infernal Orange enemies do less player damage, more block damage, they have more health, but they're slower. He looked pretty fast to me. Hey, I appreciate it, UKG. Thank you. And I need to add in this right here too. Copy, paste. There we go. That is Mama Gamer. And she's lurking because she doesn't want to see too much. I get that 100%. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And let's throw in another. I just saw a zombie inmate irradiated, inmate charged. There's the zombie Frostclaw Infernal. Let's get a normal Frostclaw in here. Yeah, he's a big boy. See how much he hits for. All right. He can hit pretty hard. He is kind of an unfriendly. For whatever reason, he reminds me of the Abominable Snowman in like the old cartoons. So even with the Frostclaw tearing me apart, I'm getting 135 frames. We are at 56 CPU and 58 GPU. And from what I understand, if you go a distance away from the Frostclaw, it might not work. Yeah, there we go. Picks up rocks. Throws them at you, and there is splash damage. So if I'm close to the rocks, but not directly near it, I'm still taking damage from that. From what I understand, his ranged attack does more block damage than his... I'm out of stamina. Of course I'm out of stamina. Already got to use a bandage. Come on down, buddy. And what I also saw was that the range on these guys is insane. Nice blue eyes. So if I turn AI off and the Frostclaw, I need to get like... I have creative mode on, so we're gonna get at least a pistol, right? Put this in our inventory, and we need some 9mm. All right. So now we need to get his attention. Shot him in the foot. So I want him to throw a rock just so you guys can see just how far the range is on this. And of course, he doesn't throw it far now. Come on, buddy. So he's got a pretty decent range. That was landing right there, and he is on that block. You're looking at 15 blocks, and I've seen him throw farther, so 15 blocks is a pretty decent amount of range if you're in your horde base. Let's get rid of him. I'm pretty sure... Where's the other guy? What was his name? Desert Spitter? Is that what he's under now? Plague Spitter. So there's his melee. Pretty standard melee. Nothing crazy. But I do know that his bees do a lot more... the bees do very minimal damage. Back at 40 subs. Yeah, you're not kidding. That was a long time ago. I thought it was 100% drop rate. Do zombies take fall damage? Yes, they do. Jay plays. Zombies take fall damage at 11 blocks. So if the zombies are 11 blocks in the air and they fall, they will literally take 1 damage, at least in the old update. We're going to test that out for you, though. Let's get him out of here. And the swarm, 1, it can be outrun. And 2, melee does a lot better job at getting rid of them as soon as I could find them. And they're gone. Melee does a lot better job at getting rid of the plague spitters than the than ranged weapons. So like if you have a club, if you have a pistol, and you're getting attacked by the bees, wasps, flies, whatever they are, you're gonna want to use melee instead. We need some blocks. So we're gonna build up 11 blocks. Come on. How many is that? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. All right, so we're gonna take our good friend Arlene. Oh, I hit a bunch of buttons. We're gonna take our good friend Arlene, sit her on top, and she immediately falls off. Try that again. There we go. All right, so you can see she is at 154 health. If I drop down all the way to the ground, turn AI back on, she's gonna fall. Where did you come from? Ooh, 11 block fall, and she did not take damage. Let's try this again. Maybe it's 12 block fall now. All right, if Arlene, she's 133, and she jumped. So she took a little bit of damage, but she did jump. So we got to find out exactly what that threshold is. And my bad aim. UKG is excited to see the horde-based designs, and now they crawl through gaps and common blocks. Yeah, that's going to be another big one that we have to go over and test. I did see them. I know if the zombies have like a 1 block above their head, they will duck to get in. But I'm wondering if the 1 block is... I didn't get to see what she was at. If the 1 block is above... Yeah, there we go. So that's... What is that? 12 blocks, 13 blocks? And she took 1 damage. But it's based on a percentage. So if... It's never going to be 100%. So you can go all the way up as high as you want, and it's never going to kill a zombie unless they have repeated falls. You'd say 1 damage, you'd say 13 blocks. That could be it. All right, I have no idea how many blocks that is. Somebody count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. A lot. It's a lot of blocks. So if we take our Arlene, AI's off, throw her up here. She's at 135. Come back down to the ground. Don't die. And then turn AI on. She hits the ground, and she is now at 91. So I think they might have nerfed the fall damage just a little bit. Not too much. Let's tear this down. So I was also thinking by the end of the stream, we might end up... Love watching stuff collapse in this game. We might end up building a small little horde base just to test out all of the different mechanics that there are. Let's see. Build up just something small. And nothing should be changed with their pathway. Still gonna jump up. Perfect. Just in case you guys didn't know, this is like my first time ever playing 2.0. So this is a test not only for you guys, but for me. So if there is anything that you guys want to see, what if they land on spikes? Does it make a real difference? Shouldn't have tore that down, should I? We're going to go ahead and test it. If there is anything that you guys want to see, let me know, and we're going to test it together. It should be good. And we need to add some spikes. Of course we need 500 spikes. Why wouldn't we need 500 spikes? And the other side, just to make sure we cover the area that she falls. That's good, right? She'll fall on that. She should. Let's get Arlene in here. And she spawned on my head. Right in the spikes. I want her to damage those. There we go. Thank you. So she is at 152 health. Let's turn AI on. She wants to pound away at the ground. She dead? She's not dead. Go away. Thank you. Try this again. Without her pounding away at my stuff. She is 130 health. Come this way. Love it when they help out and pay attention. Come on. Stop beating away at the stuff. Normally, in 1.4, she would literally just jump towards me. There we go. All right, so she fell, and she was at, what, like 97, I think? The initial fall. So if she was at 97, the initial fall, that's like... Was that 33 hit points? See if we can get rid of these, and then we'll test it again without the spikes to see just how much damage she takes without the spikes. Darn it. Takes forever to get rid of these. Shouldn't have put so many down. Nope. Dirt. We need some dirt to fill in that hole. There we go. Come back up. AI off. Spawn in Arlene. Hello? Did she spawn on the ground? Where'd she go? Yeah, she's on the ground. Now she's on my head. 132 and 114. So I guess she does take a little bit more damage when rather than just falling on, from the falling into spikes. So that might help out at all, or that might help out a little bit. But I think the initial fall is what you're really looking for. And the reason for that is because the initial fall is what keeps the zombies from going into destroy everything mode. If they go into destroy everything mode, they'll just start beating away at your foundation if they can't get back up to you. Do I always build in dev mode? Pretty much. So if you look at like all of my, if you look at like the Horde base series where I just build Horde bases, I typically only play in creative mode. But during my playthroughs, I have one episode that I cheated on. And the reason I cheated, is that Ankadina? If I pronounced your name wrong, I apologize. I have one episode where I had to cheat because the game glitched out, and I forgot what the actual issue was. It took me all the way back. I think it was like it reset a bunch of stuff on me that I had to fast forward through time just to get it back to where it was. What actually happened? It was I remember. Oh, it wasn't even the game. It was OBS. OBS glitched out, and I had an entire Horde Night recorded and everything like that, finished it, and then once I finished it, I went to go edit it, and the entire file was corrupted, and it just would not let me continue. And I didn't want you guys to lose out on a Horde Night, especially a Horde Night, during a series game or a playthrough episode. So I went through and reset the time, and that's the only thing I cheated. I reset the time all the way back and redid Horde Night, and that's the only time I ever cheated. And I even said it on stream that I cheated. That's a new animation. We never really looked through the site before. It's pretty neat. I don't know if I like that actually. I prefer it without that. All right, so we saw the Plague Spitter, we saw the Frost Claw, we saw them both throwing weapons. I also heard that they did change some of the sounds. Let's start off with a motorcycle. And we need gas. I don't know how much they changed the sounds or if they only changed it on certain vehicles. Did I not take the gas? I did take it. Still sounds the same. Nothing really sounds too different. Yeah, I don't think anything's different with that. Did anybody hear anything about the sounds? I heard they were changing the entire vehicle sound system, but that sounds all normal to me. It's not going to let me delete you? Darn it. I also know that the weather system, I need to spell, works in all biomes. So if this is supposed to be thunderstorm, but nothing happened. Maybe that's because I'm in the pine forest. Weather storm 1, I think it is. Let's delete it. I think that's how it works. No one can hear the game audio. That's not good. Maybe I can turn that up a little bit. I didn't mean to go to exit. Continue game. Start. So you guys can't hear the game audio at all? Would be interesting to see if you can hear where they're coming from when you're in a building. I know that their spawn is different now. They're coming from when you're in a building. Oh, the storms you mean, or the zombies? Use OBS and watch the meter. Yeah, according to OBS, there is... OBS right now, I have it boosted to over... I have it set at actually 0 now. Alright, so you guys don't hear any game audio. Like the bullets, you don't hear that? That's a problem. Let me go into the settings option, audio, overall sound volume. See what happens. Yeah, I'm peaking on the PC audio now. You hear nothing but me. Oh, that's gross. Nobody wants to hear me. Let me see if I can fix this. That's not the way it's supposed to be at all. Make sure OBS is picking up the correct device. Yeah, definitely. The rest looks clean as can be. Thank you. I appreciate it. But nobody wants to hear me. That's like super loud now. At least to me. Let me mess around with the OBS settings a little bit. PC audio is set to default. How about there? Can you hear that now? I mean, we want to hear you, but also the game. Yeah, that's the plan. Mama, cut it out. You're gonna make me blush. I actually think it's funny. Nova, standard streaming issue for all of us. Everyone wants to hear you. Is that any better? I switched the source to my headphones. Or is it still horrible for everybody? Nothing still? That is upsetting. Video properties. No sound. I can't believe that. Let me check out the gameplay properties. You just hear me. Come on. Is my desktop audio muted in OBS? I don't think so. Nope. All right, what if I change it to speakers? Now I can't hear anything in my speakers because it's coming through. Let me try that. See what that does. All right. Yes, this is the new version 2.0. What is in the new version 2.0? We got new zombies. We have a new weather system, which I will show as soon as I get sound. And Kafer, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. No change. That's really upsetting. Audio. I'm gonna have to fix that. I gotta figure this out. Advanced audio properties. All right, what if I turn that on? I'm just making small little changes here and there. This is super loud in my ears now. Yes, what Unknown Gamer is saying. He's missing all the messages with solutions. Uh-oh. Hang on, let me scroll back up. I'll find it. Make sure you're not muted on OBS. Yeah, I'm not. According to like the wave bar in the game, the sound is coming through. Looking up. OBS or standard streaming issue for all of us. Everyone wants to hear you. It is not fine. Can you hear now? It didn't change anything. Of course it didn't. Stop, I got it. All right, I apologize for that. I had the wrong track selected in OBS. You were right. Thank you for fixing that. Don't mess with anything. Look at us. I'm watching. All right, you want here. I don't even know if that's gonna play through.
Look at chat, streamer. Streamer. Look at chat.
All right, good. You can hear everything now. That must have sounded horrible with just my voice. That's what streaming's for. Definitely had the wrong track. All right, so now that we know the sound's working, turn creative mode on, dev mode on. Let's go over to the desert, and we're gonna check out one of these storms. All right, so as you can see right now, we just entered the desert biome, and we have 1 minute and 53 seconds because we do not have the little badge. According to the way that it's set up, is you have to do a certain amount of missions for the traders, I think, and then they give you a badge, and you have to complete missions. There's like, where's it at? I know it's in here somewhere. Wrong button. There we go. So you have to complete a certain amount of missions, a certain amount of things in each biome in order to get the badge to move on to the next one. The game is a bit loud now. Okay, I can work with that. I'll take loud. All right. Is that better? I lowered it about half. Is that too much? You do not have a horrible voice, UKG. Tug. What do you prefer? Do you prefer Tug now, or UKG, or Unknown Gamer, or Rage Quit Gaming, or Backwoods Hero? Alright, so at 35 seconds, we're going to start taking damage, I believe. Birds. Vultures are the devil. Better? If you didn't know, UKG plays a lot of different games, a lot of Dead Side. Great streamer, a lot better than me. His audio works. So here's your Plague Spitter, and these are the bees. See, they do about one tick of damage, but they are highly infectious. And if you use melee on them, if I can actually get a hold. So melee does work, but from what I hear, the melee, or if you use ranged on them, it's far less effective than the actual melee. So use melee, not ranged. Sorry, that might have been confusing because I messed up the words. Hey, security's here too. How's it going? Biome damage makes me nervous. Yeah, me too. I actually need your guys' opinion. So, where did you come from? Yeah, I'm not playing with you. Go ahead. Thank you. I appreciate it. I needed your opinion on something. So, when I start my new playthrough, I got a couple more episodes in 1.4 recorded and ready to go. Man, these guys are just everywhere now. Alright. Alright, you had your fun. Guys are crazy. Do I go with all of the options turned on? Where, like, the weather changes? I can show you the storm. Still need to learn how to spell. 24, I think it was. Yeah, I don't know how the devs did it. That was the command that they entered. Weather storm. If you guys know what the actual dev commands are for, let me know. Definitely need to turn down game audio. It's still overpowering. Yeah, that's not cool. All right, I'll move it to, it is at 12 now. Negative 12 decibels. All right, hopefully that's better. And hopefully a storm shows up. I don't know why it didn't show up with the dev command. From what I understand, that was the dev command. Weather, storm, and then 24. Use the defaults. Only when I'm fighting it's too loud. Yes, I don't know how to pronounce that mummy name, but yeah, I absolutely. You did crank it down. You did crank it ridiculously high. Yeah, you're right. I did. I set it to like 100% volume, right? In like the options menu. Can crank that down to 50. See if that helps. And then maybe crank this back up. Trying to make it even so that every time I play I don't have to mess with it. All right, now let's see. I wanted to see if I'm hot. Having heat stroke. Nice. I'm taking damage. I wanted to see if the Frost Claw would even spawn in, like, if I spawned in the Frost Claw, would he... He's not going to have any problems in here. Yeah, he's not taking any damage. But one thing I do know is that the zombies, if they're in range of the splash damage of that, they will also take damage from the boulder throw. I'm gonna see if I can. Nah, not another Frost Claw. I need Arlene. Arlene's never around when you need her. No. There we go. All right, come on, throw a rock at me. Right here. See if we can get him to hit her. There you go. There's a big boulder. So the zombies actually do take damage from the Frost Claw. And I know the Frost Claw does more block damage than he does melee. So he's going to be a problem for your bases. Come on. Go away, sir. Let's blow up Rebels chat. Yeah, I wish. I don't think that's ever going to happen. And I'm okay with that. I really want to test the weather system. I wish there was like an option to like, hey, hit this button, you could try it out. My bad aim. Because a lot of this stream was going to be based off of the weather. Another one of you clowns, huh? Yeah, see that's part of the other problem is the bees slow. Frostclaw reminds me of my ex. Forget to do laundry. You know, man, we've got so much stuff going on at home. I got all my stuff done early today. One of them was laundry. And he doesn't have that much health. And I'm still behind on everything. Thank you. So if you don't have the biome badge, essentially what you're gonna do is just get heat stroke. Let me try this one more time. Weather. Storm 24. Executing command. The only thing I could think of is maybe I have dynamic weather turned off. I wonder what it's set to in... I have an idea. We're going to back all the way out. Continue game. We're going to check the basic general settings here. Storm frequency's at 50%. Biome progression is on. Yeah, it should be good. They can't see you until they're... If they can't see you until they're in melee range, just beat on your fighting position and don't spit. Really? That'll be interesting. I actually really like this the new sound system that they have going. They also have new animations for taking steroids, for taking, eating food. Yeah, I like that. Heading to work. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Just in case anybody wasn't aware, UKG is another streamer. He does a lot of other videos besides 7 days. There's the link to his channel. Mama Gamer is also another streamer that's actually very, very enjoyable to watch. Every single one of her streams are entertaining. Doesn't matter what she's playing. All right. Oh, the animations. That's right. Let's get some steroids and some food. And only has one word. Or one N. So you can see everything has its own individual label now. Get steroids down here. And so a can of food. There's an actual animation for eating it now. I think that's long overdue. And each one of the cans... Hey! We finally got a storm, and I didn't even have to spawn it. Let's get rid of you. Apparently he doesn't like that cactus. The steroids. Steroid animation looks pretty cool. Another one of these guys. Birds. Man, when you are in the wrong biome, they do not play. Alright, alright. Was this just a wandering horde that I didn't see? We're just gonna let them beat on you for a little bit. Yes, the new eating display is amazing. I think it's way long overdue. I'm just here, you know what? I am just here for the storm. Let's get rid of you guys. I had enough. Darn bees. Alright, so the storm should be starting pretty... Oh, this is the storm. And in order to get out of the storm... No, sir. Nice try. I saw in another streamer's playthrough that in order to get out of the storm, that's all you have to do. Have something over your head. I think it was Guns, Nerds, and Steel. Was you dig 3 blocks down and technically you're out of the storm. As long as there's something over your head. What's hard, the storm? From what I understand, it is not fun for a playthrough. But I don't think anybody's gonna really know until they test out an actual playthrough with it. So that's what I need your guys' opinion on. Is when I start up the playthrough, should I keep storms on? Should I keep the biome progression on? And the biome progression is... Everything is loot capped now to the biome. So I actually have the notes for that all the way up here. Where'd What do I do with it? Went too far up. Sorry, I'm looking for my notes. Where is it? Thought I wrote it down somewhere. Apparently not. Um, 205 is the highest biome that you can be at. Or highest loot stage that you can be at. So once you hit 205 in your loot stage... Just got really dark. Once you hit 205 in your loot stage, you're kind of done. You're capped out, and there's no more looting available. And I think the first loot cap stage in the Pine Forest is 40, but once you get the badge for the Pine Forest, it boosts it up to, I think it was 60? I think that's what I read. 60 or 80. Jay saying I should definitely play with storms on. The only thing that I get it, and I kind of want to play with storms on as well, but the only thing that I don't like about having the storms on is that if I am in the middle of a POI, or not necessarily in the middle of a POI, but if I'm like heading over to the the Burnt Forest or something like that, and I don't have the badge yet, then in order to survive, I either have to find a POI, clear it out, and just sit inside the POI until the storm passes, or risk running out. There's also smoothies that you can make that would help out, but I also think that everybody, almost everybody, is going to play with it off. And if everybody else is playing with it off, that tells me I should play with it on. One thing that I thought was interesting, they did add about 20 new block shapes. I haven't had time to go through and find out what they actually are yet, but I did hear that they are pretty interesting. And if I could be wrong. So it says leave biome now. Am I safe in here? Or does the walls actually have to be completely closed off? Because right now I'm taking damage from the storm, I think. Let's see. Yeah, I'm definitely taking damage from the storm. Main thing I'm not a huge fan of is yeah, same. The loot stage cap, or the loot cap. I think if I do play with storms on, the loot cap is going to be off, and I think if I play with the loot cap on, storms are going to be off. I think it's going to be one or the other. I don't think I'm going to do both. And that's exactly what I'm worried about, Jay Plays, is that if I'm just sitting in a POI, let's say a storm rolls through, and like, okay, I escaped the storm, and now what do? Now I just sit there and wait? Because you kind of just like wait out the storm, right? What's really... It just kind of slows progression down. Not necessarily too much. I see you. Go away before you spit at me. This isn't saying that I'm sheltered, so I'm wondering if the... Let's see if this will shelter. There we go. Yeah, I'm completely closed in now. Sheltered. Let me get a flashlight. That's headgear. Yeah, sure. We'll take that. I typed too fast. Let me just do this. This works too. Yeah, so I'm completely closed in. So if I have to do something like that, how entertaining is this? Just with one block open, I'm exposed to the storm. I'm wondering if the bars, maybe... I wonder if bars will shield me from the storm. Yep, bars work. It still sucks, though. You're playing with it on, even though you're on day 2 in the forest, you have made 0 progression with biomes yet? Yeah. I think that this is going to extremely be a detriment to slowing down progression, majorly. The fastest way to take shelter is to dig a 3-meter hole and place a block over your head. Yeah, that's That's what I saw in Guns, Nerd, and Steel video, too. So there's 3 meters. I think that was 3. Go 1 more just in case. And then if you build just blocks over your head... and can't get in. Squeeze. Yeah, so now I'm safe from the storm. It can't... I just don't understand the point of it. Like, I get that, like, you have to take shelter. I get that. But, like, it just slows down progression to a level where it's not needed, in my opinion. I do want to play with it on, but at the same time, I don't want to... I definitely didn't mean to do that. But I don't want it to slow down progression to the point where it's boring. And obviously, during editing, I'd cut it out for a video, but... if I'm cutting it out for a video, why have it on in the first place? You know? I think it may have been better if you took some damage from the storms, but not so much that you have no choice but to shelter. I agree. Like, let's say it did, like, a percentage down to a certain level. So, let's say it takes 5% of your damage every, what, minute? No, 5 seconds. 5% of your damage every 5 seconds until you hit, like, 50% of your health. But once you hit 50% of your health, that's it. Because that way, if you're stuck somewhere deep in a POI and you have 2 minutes to get out... Ooh. What was that, the wasteland? No, that's pine forest. So let's say you're stuck deep in a POI and you have 2 minutes to get out of the POI. What if you're in, like, Higachi? You gotta climb all the way down the stairs and make your way out before those 2 minutes is up. What if you're in the middle of doing a mission? Do you just bail on the mission? I guess if you're in Higachi, you're in a safe area, but... you get the point, though. Pine Forest Storm's kind of nice. Make it daytime again. Before all of this, I was going through food options, right? All the different canned items. So they have... you saw the other one that I opened. It was kind of... the inside kind of looks the same. I'm wondering if they're all just white on the inside. What if we do, like, cat food? That was cat food. Dog food? Wow. Wow. And I can't type. Ooh, chili dog. See what that looks like. Yeah, it's all white on the inside. I mean, just having a can. The chili dog has no placeholder. Has a placeholder, but doesn't have an actual food item that it looks like you're eating. Because I wouldn't call a wrapped package a chili dog. It would increase damage. I would increase the damage caused by the storm so much that you would die in a few minutes if you don't take shelter. Yeah, that could be interesting. You just parkour down the sides. You don't need no stinking ladder. I once got so lost in Haven Hotel that I ended up spending a Horde Night in there because I didn't want to fail the job. I don't think I've ever gotten lost in a POI, but I have bailed on POIs that I just couldn't figure out how to finish it out. Let's take a look at our map. Let's find another area. If we just keep going this direction, we'll hit the snow biome. Alright, I'm shivering, and I got a broken leg. Not anymore. I do, however, like the actual audio cues that they added for cold. So, like, you hear them actually shiver. I would take away the feral sense and bring in some sort of... the old mechanic, the old smell mechanic that they had, where if you have meat on you, the zombies can smell you better. Not a huge fan of just like some zombies can smell you at night or during the day or all the time. Yeah, I much preferred if they just got rid of that and brought back the smell mechanic. Always follow the lights, yeah. It's the cruelest piece of bread wrapped in a string, right? Crustless piece of bread wrapped in a string. Let's take a look at the sham. See if they've actually got a sham in there. One of my favorite sounding zombies. Good old lumberjack. Sham. Nope, just a package wrapped in some string. Crustless bread. And what was the other one? I think this one actually has an animation. Or, something that looks more like food. I'm trying to see how long it takes. I don't want to die, but I'm trying to see how long it takes before... like the outside edges, the display on the outside edges, if that'll actually eventually end up taking up the whole thing, the whole screen. And I also want to see if the... Yeah, so the health kits will raise your health. You can actually brute force your way through some biomes. So I think in one of my videos, I think it was the high school, I ran around that place. I think the video wasn't that... There's animals fighting the... Sorry. Distracted like a squirrel. There's an animal fighting the frost claw. Place your bets. Who's gonna win? I must have ran around that high school for... Had to be at least a half an hour off camera just looking for that last enemy to spawn. Wouldn't happen. Yeah, the meat stew is pretty decent. It's a lot better than the old package that they used to use. Let's see if we can get the skater involved. Oh, wow. Coyote won. And I'm gonna lose. No. Attack him. Not me. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Should have a wrestling match. It doesn't look like spaghetti, but it's better than the old animation that it was. Let's... Need to learn how to spell. Uh-oh. No. Bad kitty. Let me get out of the freezing so you can actually see what it looks like. There we go. Yeah. I don't think I would actually eat that in real life. Kind of looks like scrambled eggs and potatoes. Like, bad scrambled eggs and bad potatoes. Or rocks. Let's take a look at the meat stew now that we're out of there. Yeah, the meat stew is pretty accurate. Kind of looks like meat stew. Something that could resemble meat stew. Alright, now I want to see the actual storm. I'm going to try this again. And I'm just noticing that there's a bear right in front of me. Supposedly that's the command for storms. Weather space, storm space. 24. Whether or not it works, so far it has yet to be seen. Should we piss off the bear? Oh no, here we go. Get the bear to fight one of you guys. Come on, Frostclaw. We need some splash damage on this bear here. Over here. No! You're gonna ignore that? Alright, alright. I get it. Out of ammo? How's that happen? Oh, because my... When I died, I dropped my backpack and I had my... There we go. I had my ammo in my backpack. Go away. Nope. from what I understand, the frost claw and the bear one. Come on, you can do it. Come on, bear, help me out. You gotta swipe. The desert spitter so far, from what I've seen, and the frost claw, their health isn't that. Ooh, he killed the bear. Maybe. I don't know what they're doing. Their health isn't that huge, but it's just they do more block damage than anything. Come on. Lunchtime's over. Out of ammo. Bye. Alright. I'm gonna build up a small little shack again. And we're gonna see if we can get one of the frost claws to see the damage. I don't need anything huge. Not changing the blocks either. If I misplace a block, it's staying there. Here. Sorry this is taking so long. Probably should have had a couple bases set up before I even started. All right, we got that done. Let's get a frost claw in here. You don't think that's possible? Can you destroy the rock, the frost claw? Oh, that's a good question. We're gonna try it. Turn AI back on. Not with the dev gun. I need you to come back this way, sir. Over here. Nope. Not with a regular pistol. I'm gonna try to melee it away. See what my batting skills are. Way too early. Way too early. Yeah, I think even if you timed it perfectly, I don't think it's happening. It's still too early. Alright, last attempt. No, I'm just taking boulders to the face. We need like a nail gun or something, right? Just so that we could see the damage. They're gonna kill me. Come back this way. So infatuated going under my base. Alright, you guys happy now? Bunch of you? So it does a significant amount of damage to the blocks, which is going to be a really hard time during Horde Night, because if you build up your base and a bunch of frost claws come, so possibly don't build a base in the snow forest if you're, or snow biome, if you're somewhat new. It takes me back to Minecraft days. So here's the thing with Minecraft. I actually have nothing against Minecraft because, in my opinion, 7 Days to Die is Minecraft with zombies and better graphics. You replace zombies with creepers, and you essentially have Minecraft. Both voxel worlds. My issue is, just noticing that it's damaging the ground, too. I wish that I liked Minecraft. I tried playing it like once, and I just couldn't get the crafting. Could not understand the crafting. Like, you have to know the special shapes to make special items. And maybe it was just my playthrough. I breeze over tutorials. They might have told me in a tutorial how to, like, actually build a shovel and a knife or sword, shield, things like that. And I just wasn't paying attention. That was my biggest concern with Minecraft. I've seen some really good modded Minecraft players, like games. If you guys ever watch Cartoons, H2O Delirious, they had a really good series going with modded Minecraft. Yeah, just couldn't get into it. And it wasn't a graphical thing. It was just... I couldn't figure out how to craft anything. You're not very good at baseball? Yeah, never was. I was the... Back it... 30 years ago? 20 years ago? I was the catcher and the shortstop. I can catch a ball, can't hit one. Unless I'm in a batting cage. If I'm in a batting cage, I'm alright. But like, if somebody throws a curveball at me, not happening. I was also a bench warmer playing football. That was fun. I don't have the body type for a football player. I'm tiny. Mama, you couldn't get into Minecraft either? You're absolutely right, Dawn. I did not give Minecraft time at all. I turned the game on, started playing it, built myself a little shack. I made it probably 3-4 nights, and I kind of gave up on it. I also played it on the Switch, too, and PC, but I played it mostly on the Switch in my trying it out. Just couldn't get into it. I think Minecraft is also one of those games where if you have multiple people playing, it's a lot more fun, just because, you know, they can help you out, go on building up your place, harvesting the diamonds, going into the nether. Never played Minecraft, though you watch people stream it on occasion. Yeah, I've played it. I've watched it I've watched it a lot more than I've played it. That new Snow Kitty looks awesome. Who trained her to throw rocks? Right? And so here was my thing. When they first announced the Frost Claw, I could have swore, I would have bet every single penny that I had that they were essentially just reskinning the cop, and he was going to spit something blue at you. So the fact that he actually picks up a rock and throws it at you, I'm kind of impressed with. And the Desert Spitter is kind of the cop. The cop, the Frost Claw, and the Desert Spitter all have roughly the same HP. So I'm kind of wondering if that's what they did, if they just reskinned the cop. But yeah, it's all the same type of animation. Not type of animation, but it's the same type of damage, though. The cop has ranged, Desert Spitter has ranged. I do like the fact that the Desert Spitter, though, or Plague Spitter, keeps calling it the Desert Spitter. I do like the fact that they made both of their mouths glow. So I think the Frost Claw was... They made the eyes glow, I think it was. Yeah. Frost Claw's eyes glow, and then the Desert Spitter, Plague Spitter, his mouth glows. I thought that was kind of a nice little touch. They all have the same AI. If a player is at least X blocks away from them, they throw spit. Yep. And that's kind of what I was thinking too, where if you have a certain amount of space between you and them, I'm wondering if they can actually even see you. Or hear you. I'm sure Pseudo Posse or Cautious Pancake or Is Pre-Built or Lightning Gaming, I'm sure one of those guys are actually going to break down the science behind... Let's see if I'm quiet. Sent out as bees. And you can't outrun the bees. But I'm sure one of those YouTubers are going to actually break down the science and figure out what the actual layers are. I don't have the energy for all that. Props to those guys. They're a lot better than I am. I just don't have the energy for it. It's way too much science goes involved, and I'm not that smart. Come on. So they do slow you. They can give you concussion. Almost instant infection. But they only do about 1 tick of damage per health. Or 1 tick of health per hit. I want to do like a screenshot. You think 23 blocks away they lose interest? Unfortunately, I don't have... Let's see. I don't... It's got to be about 23 blocks, right? Let's see where he's at. Why is that all the way over there? I don't know why it keeps doing that. I'm trying to measure the distance between me and the zombie, but it's covering the world. I was planning on... There we go. Turn AI off for a second. Get those bees out of here. So that is 17 blocks across. Get those bees out of there. Thank you. All right, 23 blocks. We got to figure it out. Exactly, 23 blocks. But 23 blocks away. He's not seeing me. Probably. All right, he just saw me. Shouldn't have moved. I was like right here. And that's 15 blocks. So he noticed me at 15 blocks. He probably notices you less than 23, like you said. But I think at 15, he definitely saw me. They're basically vultures that resist range damage. Do swarm pass through bars and ladders? I don't know yet. I haven't gotten that far. Check the speed of the bees on the bike. Just sit on the bike and see how fast they are. You can spawn a mini bike in. Spawn a bike in. We need some gas now. Let's face the other way. Refill it first. Alright, so let's turn away from him. Turn his AI on. Can't do it while on the bike. There we go. Come on, sir. I'm right here. There you go. They're following pretty close. They're keeping up, but I know for a fact that you can actually outrun them, like, on foot. So if I hop off, turn off God mode. So right now I'm just backing up, and they just kind of follow you around until you get rid of them. So just backing up alone is enough to keep them off you. But you can actually outrun them. If you, I don't know if you have to break line of sight or if it's a distance thing. But I can still hear them. Still up there following me around. Coming in. Of course. It'd be nice if the bees did damage to other zombies. I think bees can go through... They can go through scaffolding ladders. That was actually something that I was afraid of during base... Like, building up bases. Is if the bees can go through scaffolding ladders, it kind of... It doesn't null and void the bases. But it does make building bases a lot harder. Out of stamina. Alright. See if we can just build something simple for them. Excuse me, bees. Thank you. Appreciate it. That slowing effect is going to be hugely detrimental if they can hit you through the scaffolding ladders. Enough. Alright, we got a little tiny base. We're gonna find out if they actually go through the scaffolding ladders. Need to build up around us, though. I had a base. I lost it. It was around here somewhere. It's gonna be quick, though. Nothing too fancy. that would actually be a great balancing change. Jay? That would be a great balancing change. Have them drop honey, just like a chance, even if it's just 1%. Smokey, you meant travel time from spitter while you're on or in the vehicle. Oh, you mean like how long it takes the bees to actually get to you from wherever the spitter is? Scroll up a minute. Making sure I didn't miss any chats. If they don't see you, they don't do ranged attack. That's helpful. All right, we got our little base. Let's put 2 scaffolding ladders up front. And then we will spawn in... where's the stairs? We'll spawn in a spitter right in front of us, just so that he does. We know that he sees us. Right here looks good. I keep calling it the desert spitter. I gotta stop doing it. Same thing with the rights. I call them rights. They're whites. I know they are. I heard a YouTuber years ago say, hey, it's a feral right. And it just kind of stuck. It's muscle memory and it's broken. All right. So we're just kind of we're just testing to see if the bees go through scaffolding ladders. How you doing, buddy? See if he even sees us. So he definitely spits them. And I think the bees are attacking the base. Nope, they definitely go through the scaffolding ladders. 100% they go through the scaffolding ladders. Alright, alright. You served your purpose, thank you. And then we also wanted to test to see... And it would make sense. Yeah, of the honey, that would be amazing. Sadly, I'm waiting for the console edition to drop. I could be wrong. I think it drops on the 30th. But I'm anxious to see how well the performance upgrades will be. As of now, when I get near a lit campfire, there's a noticeable drop in FPS. Yeah, Grim Reaper. I think, if I remember right, you're no soul lover. I was having the same issue on major POIs, where just looking at a garbage can would make my FPS drop incredibly. As you can see right now, I just put it on screen. We are at 121 frames. 58% of my GPU and 56% of my CPU is cooking. So, I mean, it's... Granted, I have a beast of a computer. It's not really... It's not top of the line, but it's like top of the line for 2 years ago. I got a 3080. I got 96 gigs of RAM, which I don't need. But... the 96 gigs of RAM, the reason why I have so much is for editing. My editing software, I use Wondershare Filmora. It is a massive, massive cooker with using up RAM. Somebody remind me, what was I testing? Oh, I remember now. We wanted to see if the zombies will actually go through the 1 gap block on a horde base. So we need just a little bit of a pathway. Watching the zombies crawl is going to be interesting because it's something I haven't seen before, but it's something I've heard. I watched a couple streams, but I was trying to keep myself as minimally involved as possible with the streams, just because I'd rather experience this stuff firsthand. But at the same time, I had to have at least a little bit of knowledge to, do what I'm doing today. Unfortunately, the weather system, that's kind of what I was actually hoping to mainly showcase was the weather system, since it's the Storm Brewing update. Okay, you play on console? You know, I used to play on console all the time. That was my go-to. I never thought I would ever be like, oh, I need a PC. I need a PC. Dude, I built a PC. I built a couple PCs. But I built one and never had any intention of quitting console. But I'll never go back. I think I bought the Xbox One. Shows you how long ago the last time I bought a console was. And never even used it. I think I have like 2 games for it. You use Wondershare 2? You only have 16 gigabytes of RAM and a 3060. Everything runs just fine. So Mama, do you use proxies when you're editing? I refuse to use proxies. I don't know why. I want my stuff to look like it's gonna look on stream. You abandoned console too? Yeah. I mean, I had to. Like, once I started playing, and I'll let you guys, the reason I built my computer, this guy can take full ownership of this, was Jacksepticeye playing Kerbal Space Program. It's a game that wasn't available. What's a proxy? A proxy is you upload your content into Wondershare, and then if it's over a certain size file, it will automatically render it down to like a quarter of the file size, but it still, when you export it, it still looks good. He's part of the elite super class now. Yeah. So he was the reason playing Kerbal Space Program. When he was playing that, I was like, I'm a space nerd. I immediately was like, I have to get that game. I have to get that game. Went searching everywhere for it. And then I bought it on PC and it wouldn't run because I had a very, very basic PC. So I built a PC that it would run on. And then probably like 2 years later, it came out on console and it sucked on console because I bought it for that too. And then once I had like my first PC built, I used a GTX 960. Yeah, look at you crawling away. Yeah, my first computer, I had a GTX 960 in it and never looked back since then. How many will they crawl under? He's part of the elite superclass now. You use DaVinci Resolve for your editing? Yeah, and that's probably the way that any new YouTuber should definitely go, is DaVinci Resolve, just because there's their free version. It makes 100% sense to use DaVinci Resolve. My only issue with it, being 100% completely transparent, is I have no idea what I was doing when I was editing. None. And I wanted to learn on something that was super user-friendly, super intuitive, something that like automatically just... Basically, I wanted to load the files, cut the files, and then post. And everything that I read, I heard that Filmora is like one of the best at being intuitive. You know, you're looking for something, oh look, it's right there. It works out just... It's right in front of you. You don't have to search for it. A couple people I know use DaVinci, but I've not used it. I have it. I've just never used it. I have it downloaded. Filmora does everything I need it to do. I know where everything's at. I got all of my keyboard shortcuts set up perfectly. I've got like a 15-button mouse that I do everything with, so I can actually edit one-handed. I also have, I don't know if you've seen them. They're called tour boxes. I'm going to unplug it and show it to you. So, if you've ever seen one of these, super helpful. You have to program all the buttons you want, but like, for editing, amazing. It's not a necessity, but it makes everything a lot easier. If you're looking to like, go frame by frame by frame, super helpful. Can I fit under there? I can't go, but the zombies can? How is that fair? They need to add a army crawl in this game. That sucks. It does suck that the zombies can fit through there, but I can't. I'll admit it did have a learning curve for me, but now that I've used it for years, you lost on everything else. Yeah, and that's the thing, is I've used Kerbal Space Program was a lot of fun. It runs like total ass on console. Yeah, definitely. Plus, Kerbal Space Program is not as fun without mods. Modding Kerbal Space Program is amazing. And that's how Wondershare was for me with the does recording use a lot of memory? Recording doesn't, streaming does, like not a lot. It does use memory, but not a ton. Right now I'm at 21% of my RAM is being used up. And I have every gadget and gizmo you can possibly think of just for streaming and editing. Or just for editing and recording and trying to mess around with the stuff that's on my desk without knocking anything over. Let's see if I can show it to you. So, no, I'm not close enough to the camera. All right, it's crooked. It's sideways. But this thing adjusts with... It's live of my computer. So it gives me all of the information I need on my computer. It gives me temperatures, upload speeds, download speeds, how fast my memory is moving. I'm just going to leave that there for now. I'll put it back later. How much of my CPU and GPU is being used. And the only reason I did that was because I want to know instantly if my computer is having a problem with something, what the bottleneck of my computer is. And you can go into like your task manager and find all this stuff out, but I just have it automatically always up on my computer. Recording is mostly processing, so CPU gets a load of RAM, not rendering the video. Yeah, I think that's 100% accurate. Recording is mostly processing. Can they walk through a catwalk V1 rail? I don't know. Find out. Is that this one? This is the one you're talking about, right? The catwalk V1 rail only. Do you mean if it's like... Oh, you mean like vertically? Put 2 up and find out. AI off. Spawn in some Marlenes. Missed. There you go. Come on up, Arlene. Let's see if they even see it as a pathway. She's having a hard time. Rainy, I think you just found our new golden block. Because they see it as a pathway, but they're not walking through. Obviously, they're beating away at the bottom of my base, but I don't care. This is why I cut a lot of my videos out, because a lot of it is just me sitting there going, I like that, but it doesn't do this. Dude, I seriously think you found the next golden block. But she's trying. So rather than having scat, you would put like that right there. And then take away that. Let's give her a path. This is the other thing I wanted to test to see if they jump to fit through the block. See? A lot of boring, me just sitting there going, interesting. So she does jump. She's trying to fit underneath. Alright. So she fits through. But what happens... These two on top of each other is your fighting position? I honestly think that that's gonna be mine too, because that worked out way better than I was anticipating. I know they can squeeze through with a... I'm pretty sure they can squeeze through with a plate. Let's test that out. Why am I... Trying to press too many buttons at the same time. Just don't spawn on my head. Thank you. Can't stand it when they... I don't know what does... Does anybody know what does that? what makes the zombies spawn in your head when you're spawning the zombies in comparison to spawning like on your crosshair. So she's not jumping. Maybe it's because we don't have enough of them. Let them build up. I'm sure bugs can get through it, but I don't care because I keep them from spitting in the first place by limiting line of sight. Yeah. Oh, I missed it. How did they get through? They just crawling on top of each other? Just crawling up, and she's trying to duck down. So the plate doesn't stop them, because obviously they got through. Yeah, she can squeeze through that. All right. Excuse me. Thank you. So I know there's... That was... Should we go with the half block? They crawled on top of each other. Should stop them. Yeah. I think they can pass through up to a 3/4 big hole, so a half block shouldn't stop them. Excuse me. Get out of here. Quit bugging me. Alright, you said the half block shouldn't stop them? Advance rotate. What's in the way? Is it me? Oh. It's that, isn't it? Get rid of that. Why isn't... Do I have a... I'm dumb. Deleting blocks I don't need to delete. Not chat. Where'd our scaffolding ladder go? You really think that they're gonna fit through there? I don't know. Find out. They're trying. See if they face... I mean, they face through scaffolding ladders, so why wouldn't they fit through that? But... I'm wondering if it makes a difference if they're going to be the charged ones. Because that's what we have to... Remind me, we have to test that too. What the health difference is between the charged zombies and the not ones. Not with the rail, no. I put 2 catwalk V1 rails on top of each other, sometimes 3 high. Okay. Haven't dove into 2.0 yet. But I mean, it's the same as every other update for a few hours. Not with the rails there, they can't fit through. Okay. Oh, so I see what you're saying. You're saying that if I put... Let's see if I can delete this without them actually... Delete in place without them getting through. So you're saying they can fit through that. Or maybe if I reversed it, right? Probably be easier for them if I reversed it. Alright, let's put the block up top and then put the half block underneath. See if they crawl through. That makes way more sense. Too dark in here now. Did I delete? I didn't delete that. Let's get rid of that. There we go. They're trying. I don't see any of them trying to crawl, though. And that is the half block. Is there a quarter? There is a quarter block, I think, right? Sorry, Rebel, I'm super tired from streamer weekend. I visited so many live streams, I might as well be streaming it myself. Yeah, I don't blame you, man. I'm exhausted myself. And they shouldn't be able to fit through with a half in the way. Anything less than they could squeak through. All right. So anything less than the half they can fit through. There's a quarter block. 147th. I thought there was a quarter block. What is that called? Cube half. Is that it right there? 25 is a quarter. Yeah, I have a feeling they're gonna fit right through that. Almost instantly, right? Oh. Yeah, she made it through. No, ma'am. Oh, wrong buttons. This is my home. They're gonna keep beating away at stuff, aren't they? Yeah, see, they seem more like, yes, they fit through, but they seem more focused on destroying the block than trying to get me, which is fine. Buys you time. Shoot out their legs. Stupid typos. And they shouldn't be able to fit through with a half in the way, anything less than this. No, I understood you. And I am not one to blame. I'm not one to criticize anybody for typos. You guys seen me how many times I misspelled storm so far? Alright. So they do fit through that one. Let's check out the charged zombies, because I'm pretty sure charged Arlene and turn you off. And what was the other one? The orange zombie Marlene charged. It was an infernal orange or something, right? Okay, so your infernal oranges are gonna be a little bit. We got a Darlene, that'll work. The infernal oranges are gonna be more of your higher tiered enemies, and your charged ones are they're both higher tiered, but they are I hear that they do more damage to the blocks than the actual player. Sorry, I'm trying to look up to see if trying to find where I had their actual damage percentages, but I don't know where it went. That's back to the loot cap. She kneeled and got through like it was nothing. Yeah, that's a problem, right? But Rainey gave us the idea of the V1 rail that was, I think that's going to be every single person's new golden block. This one right here. Catwalk V1 rail only. They try to squeeze through, but none of them got through. So I think this, you can shoot through it, you can melee through it. I think that's going to be the next god block. And I did find the loot caps. So Pine Forest loot stage cap is 40, Burnt Forest is 90, Desert is 125, Snow is 160, and the Wasteland, obviously there's no loot cap because you're in the Wasteland. You like it a little bit more for the melee? That makes sense. I'm horrible with melee. I can't hit him with a pistol, let alone melee. And then once you have the badge, so once you have the Pine Forest badge, it goes from 40 to 100. The bugs still get through, I'm sure. I plan on keeping them from spitting. Yeah, exactly. So the Pine Forest goes, once you have the badge, it goes to 100. The Burnt Forest goes from 90 to 130 once you have the badge. The Desert goes from 125 to 140 with the badge. And the Snow goes from 160 to 180 with the badge. And then 205 is your max loot stage. So anything over 205, it's nothing. The charged zombies are like the radiated zombies. They're later game, they're stronger and faster. The infernal oranges are less player damage, more block damage. They have more health, but they're slower. They changed the dire wolves now. No dire wolves should spawn until you get to game stage level 127. So that's the first time the direwolf should show up in any new runs, is 127. And then, what was the other one? The Plague Spitter won't show up on Horde Nights until game stage 91. And the Frostclaw won't show up on Horde Night until game stage 97. That's actually something else that we can test. No max loot pimps. Yeah, that's... I keep going back and forth if I want to do it with... If I want my next playthrough to be with or without the storms and with or without the loot cap. I don't know. I do like classic, but then if I'm just doing classic, why am I resetting my run to begin with? Just for the new zombies? And I do plan on, when the new series comes up, I haven't even started it yet, but when the new series does come up, I'm planning on doing, if you look back in my chat or comment section, somebody brought it up, and I remarked a while ago that Navsgain was going to be probably where I'm going to go. I'm not going to use pre-gen, and my reasoning behind that is the Fun Pimp said they changed so many things in pre-gen, or in Navsgain, that it makes sense just to have... It makes more sense to, like, actually go through Navsgain and find out what's different. What... Oh, the other thing that I thought was pretty cool was that they now spawn... The zombies now spawn out of 1x1 holes. That's what she said. Sorry, I'm immature. So the zombies now spawn out of 1x1 holes, which is good and bad. It's great for your... No. Yeah. Beastly. 1700, and their health does recharge. I wonder if the rad remover. Let's modify this. Oh, so the holes. Ooh, the rad remover does nothing. Okay. That's gonna be interesting. Alright, ladies, thank you. The zombie spawning out of the 1x1 holes is smart for some instances and horrible for others. Between the cop spit and the birds, they have my ultimate hatred. That's good. It was annoying to have to shoot the direwolf. Like, I agree. If you watch the, I think it's like the first Horde Night, maybe it's the second Horde Night of my latest playthrough, I was like level 98, I think, and I had a demo show up. Completely destroyed me. I didn't die, but he completely destroyed me. I keep switching gears because I keep forgetting what I'm talking about. The 1x1 holes. That looks really weird. Looks like an ocean. Looks like waves. It's great for some instances and horrible for others. So it's great because it is so much easier on your PC because you don't have 30 zombies all spawning in one location. And it's horrible. I guess not horrible, but they spawn in waves now. So as you kill a zombie, another one pops out of that 1x1 hole. Spawn in another, kill another one spawns in that hole. Kill another one spawns in that hole. So it's much better for your like actual frame rate, but at the same time, I don't think that you're getting as much swarm, if that makes sense, in POIs. Which, depending on how you look at it, that could be good. Yeah, I hate the fact that the zombies can fit through here, but I can't. That's annoying to me. If you want to see storms, you might want to grab the desert badge and move testing to the desert. Are the new orange zombies resistant to fire damage? The blue ones resistant to electrical fences. I don't think the blue ones are resistant to electrical fences. Generator. Trying to think of what we need. Engine, we got gas. Where's the fence posts? drop all the stuff I'm not using anymore just so I don't get confused. And I'm gonna need more than that one engine. Someone told me they only stay zapped for like half the time or something. Definitely gonna have to test that out. Alright, so generator. Refuel. Like it would normally wear off in 7 seconds, it only wears off after 3.5. We're gonna find out. Definitely gonna find out. I need the dev gun out. Blocks. And wiring tool. Sorry, I'm trying to do like the boring stuff as fast as I can just so that it's not just me sitting here staring at the screen. Alright, so that's hooked up. Let's turn that on. What do you say we make it daytime? So you can actually see. YouTube kind of darkens everything. Alright, and we're going to give him a clear line to us. Turn AI off. We're going to go... You said the blue one, so... The Infernals, that's the charged. So we got a charged Arlene... And we got a normal Arlene. Let's turn the AI on. Get her attention. We're running out of ammo. That was quick. I don't like that one bit. I don't like that one bit. Forgot to turn AI off. I did not know that. Yeah, that was really quick. Multiple electric fence posts are going to be needed now. Yeah, because typically you could just sit here. If you throw in a robotic turret, or I'm sorry, a robotic sledge, I mean, this base right here is fine. She's just sitting there, slowly taking damage, just ticking away at her health. I did not know that. Yeah. Alright. That sucks. But is cool at the same time, I guess. And then, how do we test the fire? Molly's? Oh, is there infernal orange? I don't know if you guys saw. Next on the list of things that I have to show you. And we'll do bikers. I didn't mean to spawn that many, but that's alright. So, if they're just standing there... They're definitely not resistant to fire, but do they get put out faster? Thank you, Too Smoky for you. I appreciate it. That was the entire point of the stream, was just to test stuff out, just to see what changes they made. I thought about doing like a playthrough right off the bat, but I'm kind of, be honest with you, I still got a couple videos left of 1.4. It's all recorded, all edited, but I was kind of waiting for that to finish before I put out an actual playthrough video of... of 2.0. All right, so I hate the fact that there's nothing to like stop his health from regenning. I wonder if that's going to be something that they add in the future. It's got to be, right? Pack Mule is kind of OP now. They changed a bunch of... Yeah, they did change a ton of perks. Okay, so they did a lot to make things harder in the update. But besides the better graphics, what did they add to be a little helpful? I don't know. I'll be honest with you, I don't know. So something that they changed to make things make it a little bit helpful. They moved the perks around a little bit. There's a general perk now, so like you don't have to spec in strength to get a lot of the stuff. Lockpicking, I don't even remember what that was under, but that's going to be now a just general perk, which is good, I guess. What did they make easier? That's a good question. First aid does about the same. Yeah, they both do about the same damage. The pistol itself does about the same amount of damage. They didn't add any new weapons that I know of. I think a lot of people were hoping for weapons. I'll say this. I want new weapons too. But if you think about it, all right, so dev blocks off. You got the pipe pistol, the regular pistol, the 44, and was that it for the pistols? Pipe pistol, pistol, 44. There was another one I thought. No? Desert Vulture. Oh, I skipped over that. It's right there. They did buff the sledgehammer. They gave it its own book, its own actual like perk book. Oh, wrong one. They gave it its own actual set of magazines. Yeah, I can't really think of anything that they added to make things easier though. But what I was saying, the pistols. So there's 4 versions of pistols. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 versions of shotguns. Rifles, there's the pipe, hunting, lever action, then the sniper rifle, pipe machine gun, AK, assault rifle, then the M60, and a rocket launcher. There's also a primitive bow, wooden bow, compound bow, iron crossbow, and then compound crossbow. They actually do have a lot of weapons in the game. It's just nobody uses the early tiered weapons. So like, they could make more variety. I think they should bring the blunderbuss back, to be honest. And these guys just, I'm not staying on top of their damage, but they're just regen and health almost all the way up. I don't see if they regen all the way up. Check out the mastery perks. Strength mastery. Yeah, so these are actually pretty cool. All of the, once you get, you have to, I think it was 6. You have to have this up to level 6, and then you could start getting the you could start putting points into mastery, I think. Is that what it is? Yeah, level 6. So all critical injuries heal 100% faster when holding a mining tool. Like, that's huge. Mining and the grease monkey thing should be in the gen tab perk. Yeah, I mean, I could see that too, but at the same time, strength and mining kind of go together. And same thing with Pack Mule. I thought they were gonna, I almost would have thought that they were gonna put the Pack Mule perk in the general perks. But if you max out your strength perk, kills with strength-based weapons grant 50% damage resistance for 10 seconds. That's huge. They're all like, every single one of the mastery perks, they're all like pretty OP. Your fortitude makes you harder to break, permanently adds an additional 50 max health. That's huge. Agility master, fully drawn bow shots bypass enemy armor, dealing full damage plus an extra 25% damage. Intellect is Stun baton's charge is always ready. So imagine having a stun baton where every single time you hit them, it's a hit. Or like an electrocution. A gun that makes regular ammo more piercing would be kind of nice. Yeah. So you wouldn't need to always make AP ammo, so a top tier armor piercing gun would be a nice addition. I mean, the sniper rifle does a pretty good job. But I also think that they should change the sniper rifle to like a 50 BMG. Something like that. So like the sniper rifle doesn't take your 7.62. That's just my opinion, but... did I see perception? Rifle shots do 50% more damage. Sprinting power attacks with spears do 25% more damage. Pretty big. But that's just you. With all things they did to make the game that was already pretty hard even harder, I feel they should have added a little more weapons or something. Yeah, other than a buffed sledge. I'm not a sledge person either. I can't stand the sledge. And add a few added perks. I don't know how Simon does it. If you guys watch Neebs Gaming, I don't know how Simon just always runs the sledge. I don't get it. I noticed earlier it increases your max stamina at the high end. The cardio now? That's agility. Which one's cardio? That under agility. Your max stamina at the high end. All of the perks give you more damage at Rainy, so by the time you get to the pretty shiny new versions, you should be strong enough. Just a minor inconvenience. Yeah, I could see that. I can understand that. Oh, Simon. It's under fortitude. And cardio. Alright, 1 foot in front of the other. Increase stamina regen by 10%. 20%, 30%. Permanently add 25 max stamina. That's insane. And the ultimate test of endurance is like a walk in the park. Permanently adds an additional 25 max stamina. So if you have... This one adds 25 max stamina. So this is another 25 max stamina. So essentially you're going to have an additional 50 stamina. That's crazy. Some of the stuff, like, I mean, I guess that is helpful. But by the time you get there, is it really, like, that big of a difference? I don't know. Maybe it is. I mean, if you perk everything into cardio, or spec everything into cardio, that'd be huge. Max cardio and you have 50 extra stamina. That's insane. I still want a grenade launcher and an M203 would be cool. I mean, you got the M60. M60's pretty close to an... Oh, you're talking about the underbarrel. Yeah, that would be cool. There's the rocket launcher. But it's... In my opinion, the rocket launcher is one of the most overrated weapons in this game. Not because of, like, the damage it does. It does do a lot of damage. But how did I miss? But because of what it takes to actually craft it. So if I go under, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it because I don't have any perks. So the rocket launcher to craft is 1 rocket launcher part, 20 forged steel, 3 duct tape, 3 spring. Not horrible. Each rocket, 25 buckshot, 15 gunpowder, 2 duct tape. I don't know, maybe it makes like 5 rockets or something, or maybe 20, but 1 rocket casing, and then the same thing, I think. 1 rocket casing and 500 gas, 2 duct tape. If I want to shoot explodey stuff, I just use a crossbow. Yeah, that's pretty much what I do too. Much more affordable to craft. Here's the other thing is, why did they take this out? There was a... You used to be able to craft these, the rusty barrels. Now the only way you can get them is through dev mode. These do a butt ton of damage. Like, block damage, but they do a butt ton of damage. Alright, let's get rid of these guys. All right, I think somebody said earlier that I should move over to the desert biome, just in case a storm comes in. Hey, here's the other bases I built. Hey, and the rest of my stuff. Forgot about this. Grab this just to get it off the ground. I don't want the icon on my map anymore. I could have just used this. The other thing I wanted to show. Yeah, the crossbow with the exploding bolts, much more affordable to craft. And like, I get it, the rocket launcher is really cool. It helps you out in a pinch if you can afford it, but it's like one of those, I'm running for my life, this is an emergency situation, I don't have any other choice, I have to use the rocket launcher. I think that's the only time I would ever use it. One of the things that I definitely wanted to check out, AI is off. You guys seen this yet? Check out Grace. Turn God mode on, make the outside go away. She looks mean. Like I've for a couple months now, I've known that this was gonna be her model. Just because it was leaked. And anybody could have found it. It was all over the internet. But she looks a lot worse than just a glowing green big pig. She is now a hog. It makes single rockets. Material cost for ammo is ridiculous. Although the HE rounds do quite a bit of block damage. Great for leveling buildings. Grace is absolutely terrifying. That's pretty much your tree right there. Yeah, the assassin style. I think this Grace looks so much better. It actually looks like a mutated pig. I wish I can pull up like the old Grace and have her right next to her. Animal boss Grace. Yeah, I think that's the only Grace we have. And did you know that chickens are now hostile? 6. Before I fight Grace, we need to get rid of her. Just for a minute. Not all chickens are hostile, and I don't think it's even implemented into the game. But chickens actually try to peck at you. Chicken is going to be very upset. Yeah. Oh, I just froze. Did the stream just freeze? There are 2 versions of chickens, a regular and the Twitch chicken. Yeah. Hitting all kinds of wrong buttons. I think the hostile chicken is strictly for Twitch. Is it? That's kind of unfortunate. I'd kind of like to see a hostile chicken, or like a horde of zombie chickens, or just regular chickens, all attacking. I think that would be insane. All right, let's bring Grace back. See if her attack is any different. The other thing I would like to see is, I want to see a Grace that actually, she's slow. I want to see a Grace that actually, like, when she hits you, she sends you flying. Not enough to cause damage, but like enough to push back. Yeah, she's got a lot of HP. 2,658. Bob's Boars is, I mean, she's got the same amount of health, so it's not going to be that much different, but like just the new skin looks amazing. Dire Wolves, I believe, are the same. I don't think they made any changes with that. I think Hostile Chicken is pretty much for Twitch. You know, you can actually do Twitch commands. You can get it to go away. So if you spawn in Zombie Arlene, and then hit Shift and F6, you actually get the Twitch commands. Make all the zombies dance. It's completely useless. Same thing with like the Buckethead mod. They should have kept Green Grace as an irradiated and lesser version of the new Uber Grace. I think so too. I think that the they should have put Grace, the original Grace, in, I don't know, I can't think of anywhere where they would put her. Like one of the tier 5 biohazard facility POIs, and then they should have put Grace in Bob Spores. Congolina chickens would be hilarious. They stop attacking while they're dancing. Do they really? I mean, can't not test that. All right, let's turn their AI on. That's hilarious. Get it, Arlene? I guess if you're too close, they don't stop attacking, huh? Bump into them. Let's see. Yeah, if you bump into them, they still attack you. Angry. Alright. Missed both of those. See if I can survive this. If I can actually aim. Man. Did any of you guys ever play Rainbow Six Siege? First person shooter, completely different than this. The reason I'm wondering is because in Rainbow Six Siege, if you don't aim down sights, you don't get a hit. Turn on the dancing if I'm trying to get away. There was a couple different things that you could do with the actual... Stop it. I never really did a whole lot of Twitch. Number one, I have a Twitch account, but I never use it. But there was one that made them all have buckets on their head, which actually made you knock the bucket off their head in order to get a headshot on them. You may want to get your badge. Nah. Yeah. Come on. Events. Stuck. There we go. So if you actually shoot him in the head. Oh, it does do damage now. It's less damage. That's what it is. So she's at 90, 150, 111. This is the only reason I wish that I actually use Twitch, is just because I'd love to be playing and somebody makes all the zombies have buckets on their head. I think it'd be funny. You want me to get my badge? There we go. Got the badge. I don't know, I think that this game is way too... You can modify it. Ooh, add spots to it. I wonder if you can put pocket mods. Out of curiosity. Modify. No pocket mods. What mods go in there then? Forest does not protect against the storms. What was the other thing I wanted to show? Oh, kind of remember. Need more concrete though. So I think what we should do, we're in the burnt forest. Wrong one, but you got one. Since we're in the burnt forest, I think we should have just a day 7 horde. Unless there's something else that you guys want to see. There is something else that you want to see. Is this the wrong... Did I grab the wrong badge? It's not an actual item. It disappears as soon as you get it. Are you talking about the badge? That was the wrong badge. There we go. Because this is just essentially just a test. If there is anything that you guys want to see, you let me know, and we will definitely test it. But for right now, I'm going to build up a small little horde base. As I say, small, and keep building longer and bigger. Almost there. There we go. And dev gun. We're going to use the pull side centered for the pathway, but we're definitely going to try out the V2 rail. This one. There, and then the scaffolding ladder. That's going to be our base. So what actually goes with the badge? Look, man, we need to get some snack and get the boat. Get to the boat on the river and have a convo about what... Sorry, I can't read. Look, man, we need to get some snack and get the boat on the river and have a convo without keyboards about this update. I think what you're saying is you want more console stuff, more like less cheating, less spawning stuff in, because you can't do that on console. Or can you? Can you guys do that stuff on console? Can't think of anything. Seems like you tested quite a few ideas and theories. Blue zombies, 1 meter holes, totally ruins everyone's old horde base. A new meta is in order. You know what though? I think Rainy found the new meta. I think the V2 is going to end up being the new meta. Don't tell anybody. If word gets out, Rainy, you got to take credit for this. If word gets out that this works, you could be famous. I built the catwalk V2 2-3 high so they can't jump over it, and don't use ladders at all. Really? You can do that. Copy shape. And copy rotation. So you build it like that. And then I'm guessing... essentially like that, right? You can use console commands, but you need a keyboard and... yeah, that makes sense. That was the thing that sucked about old console. And so here, I'm from Xbox One. That's the last time I played on console. And back then, it was like the keyboard inputs were garbage. And I don't know if they allowed you to do keyboard inputs with Xbox One. And a mouse, yeah. Yeah. So I also heard that a lot of people consider using mouse and keyboard on console like cheating if you're playing in a multiplayer game. I see that. When I was playing Rainbow Six constantly, that used to be my go-to game, was Rainbow Six. I'm embarrassed to say that I have like... I don't know. See how many hours I got in it. It's the test site. 2,400 hours in Rainbow Six. And that's just on this server. Or that's just on this Steam account. I have another Steam account that has more. That's kind of embarrassing, isn't it? 2,400 hours in one game. What am I doing? Minus... Steam keeps popping back up. I don't want Steam up. Upload R6 content. I think I have one live stream of Rainbow Six up. And now, it wouldn't be entertaining to watch. It would just be a whole lot of me dying because I'm old. These cracked out kids wreck me, man. Every single match. They jump out, every single match. I would totally play Rainbow Six, but I'm garbage at it now. I don't have the reaction time. I don't have the speed. I literally haven't played in like a year, probably. Not a serious match anyway. I used to actually have a legit team. We had sponsors. And everybody got old. You have over 4,500 hours in 7 days. Don't judge me. You got more hours than I do. Way more. I think I'm on this Steam account. I think I have just under 700. Let me pull this up now. 857. So it's not an insane amount of hours. And my laptop account has probably like 200-300, something like that. But this is one of those games. I looked it up the other day. I've had it for at least 5 years. At least. That's too low. That's too off the ground. Yeah, I've had this game for at least 5 years. I think I bought it when it was on sale for like $11 or something like that. Maybe it was $7.99. I don't remember what I paid for it. It wasn't full price. It was like, even if it was $20, $22, something like that. It's insane. Rainbow Six had a mega update. We want to see you play for fun or play with viewers. You know, I actually thought about Dawn, too smoky for you. I will look into that. I had no idea. I didn't get 7 days until Alpha 17. Double your number and you have close to my playtime. Yeah, I just don't have the reaction time anymore. A friend gifted me 7 days right after the Alpha 17 update. I think I had... So I had this game, 7 days, for years before I even touched it. I thought it was a cool game. I was like, yeah, it's a cool little game, but like, I never really put any time into it. So I don't remember when I got it, but I might have had this game for quite a while before I actually did anything. We need, what do we need? Wood? We're gonna cheat ourselves some wood. And we need some arrows. We're gonna try. I don't think it's gonna work very well. Level 3 pistol. Can't have that. Hey, Rambo Gaming, what's going on, buddy? Dawn, you can use controller on PC, but mouse and keyboard is worth getting used to. I'm still not 100% myself, but it's a lot better for bindings and switching weapons. Been playing 7 days since Alpha 15. It has gotten so much better. I think that depends on who you ask. Some people say that it's gotten a lot worse. I personally think it's gotten better. Trying to get a level 1. I just passed it. There we go. And get rid of the good ammo. I'm scrapping. I don't mean to scrap and to drop. Alright, so if we took on a horde... Gotta have some light. I guess we wouldn't have concrete this early either, huh? That can come over here. Drop those. Alright. I think that's pretty reasonable for a Horde Night, right? For a day 7 Horde Night. Minus not having ammo. We got our wood club, bow and arrow, and a pistol. I guess I would have some spikes too, wouldn't I? Wood spikes. I wouldn't have 500. Rainbow Six is one of those games you gotta go back to. Yeah, they just put out, what was it? Rainbow Six X or something like that. I think the last time I played it, it was... I can't remember the last person they added. The last operator they added? It was after the sniper lady. I don't remember her name either. Haven't played it in so long. I remember a time you could drop a zombie and they would break their legs to cross. Yeah, they also had climbing zombies that would climb the sides of your bases. And who is saying that they play using mouse and keyboard? Who is that? Never played with anything. I've never played anything with mouse and keyboard. I'm definitely have to try anything new. Dawn. So, I was a console player. 100% of the time, all the time. When I was growing up, always console player. I mean, I guess I played when I was really young on computer. But what I did was I took a small aspect of the game. It was actually Rainbow Six that I learned mouse and keyboard on. And typically, I'll use controller for games like Detroit Become Human because it's a very quick time event. But I used mouse and keyboard for just the drone phase. If you know anything about Rainbow Six, first you have to throw out a drone. It's a little remote control car, goes out to scope out what you have to do for the mission. Use the mouse and keyboard for just the drone phase, and then slowly, and I didn't do it intentionally, but slowly, I would go from controller for the drone, and then I would go mouse and keyboard or I would start out mouse and keyboard for the drone, and use controller for the actual aiming part and everything that you need to do in that aspect of the game, the fighting part. And then just slowly and slowly made it more and more mouse and keyboard, and now I prefer mouse and keyboard. Normally, I do not prefer mouse and keyboard. If you would have asked me 5 years ago, I would have said, no way. I'm sticking with controller. You play on PC? Yeah. Or play on console? Take 3 days just getting resources off for this base. Yeah, probably with concrete. All the concrete that I have. You're not wrong. I guess a day 7 horde in a concrete base wouldn't be that realistic, but I just kind of want to see so we're in the Pine Forest, and we're game stage 22, and the zombie Desert Spitter isn't supposed to show up. I think I said till like game stage 92 or 97 or something like that. I want to see if they show up. So what we're gonna do is set time day 7, 21:58. It's so weird not hitting 70. 99% of all my bases are day 70. See what's different here. Probably should have walled that off, huh? Too late now. Fighting their way through the spikes. You wish you had a PC though? Yeah. I mean, it's definitely, if you're thinking about like switching from console to PC, it's definitely worth it to, might help if I turned AI on. It's definitely worth it to, like, rather than buying a PC, look at what it takes to build one. Building a PC is literally just Legos for adults. I thought it was going to be extremely difficult, my first one. Mouse is so much better for aiming. Insanely. Like, that's an understatement of the year. No more birds. Aww. Are they just chewing away at my foundation? I think that's a... Are they actually trying to make it over? No, they're trying to make it over. Okay. It's a pretty weak base in terms of, like, the foundation. Thought maybe they were fighting away at the bottom of it. But it's definitely worth it to consider building your PC over buying one. A lot of the bought PCs, I hear bees. A lot of the bought PCs are overpriced just because they know that they can get away with it. I would say if you're gonna buy a computer, go with a laptop. That's just my opinion. Oh, he squeezed through. Too many zombies pushed him through, I think, just like the scaffolding ladders. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Darn, bleeding. What a waste of a band-aid. Waste of a med kit. Yeah, Desert Plague Spitter is here. I need to stop doing that because I think in my video today you even heard me say it. One YouTuber heard me. I heard one YouTuber call a feral right, and it stuck. I don't know what happened. I'm just now realizing I have nothing to do repairs either. Will you stop ducking? Big issue with laptop is long-term cooling. Yeah, absolutely. They make some cool laptop stands though that have fans built in. I did a lot of gaming at work during COVID when that was a major thing. I used to be able to bring my laptop in, and I would literally just sit there and play games on the computer at work. And that's all I did. I just went out and bought a couple extra fans. Man. I might not make this Horde Night. I gotta stay away from that wall. I'm already infected, got a concussion, fatigued. I'm so used to using the spear. Why laptop? My reasoning behind it is if you're gonna buy something, if you're gonna spend money on something that's already pre-built, like a laptop or like a computer, use it wherever you need to, wherever you want to. If you're gonna buy, if you're planning on doing something like an actual desk, obviously get a desktop. At work, what do? I insist on a full keyboard with 10 key number pad. You know, I used a 60% keyboard and hated it. And what I do, proper mouse, yeah, I got HyperX, quick fire, quick haste, something like that. I love this mouse. I am a third-party mediator that works within the transportation industry, so planes, trains, automobiles, boats, all that stuff. And I handle resolutions between the company and the employee. They're all contracted, including myself. I'm a contracted employee. And I have to basically know every single rule. I don't. I should. But I'm supposed to know every single rule that the company has and that the other company that I work for has. She phased through. Go to sleep. Lifeguard? No, not a lifeguard. Definitely not. I don't think I have the body to be a lifeguard. Or stamina. I am a fish, though. I can swim. Last April? About last year, last September, we went, me and Mrs. Mrs. Rebel, we went on a vacation. They shouldn't be able to get through both. It's okay. I think this with the scaffolding ladder, because right now I don't have any scaffolding ladder, it's just the ladder, or it's just the V-rail. We went on a trip to somewhere in Mexico. I don't know. I don't handle the details. And we got to swim with sea turtles. There was this giant 8-foot sea turtle we were swimming with. We were the only ones out there, the only ones around. It was one of those, like, once-in-a-lifetime things that'll never happen again. Amazing. Me and Mrs. Rebel are both insane animal lovers. That's what she does. She works in animal medicine. You want to play games while I work, but how'd you get into that work? Trade school? No. High school diploma. High school diploma, actually, you don't even need a high school diploma to do it now. They lowered it during COVID because they couldn't get any good employees. Or, I take that back. They couldn't get enough employees. So they opened up the range. You have to be willing to... I've been doing this for 17 years. So you have to know... A lab worker, wow. You have to be willing to learn the entire contract. And you have to be willing to be the person that everybody goes to when something goes wrong. Something goes wrong, you're dealing with it. You're handling it, you're talking to the managers, you're talking to the employees. You have to tell the employees when they're wrong, and you have to talk to management. Maintain a good relationship with both, otherwise... I work at the same time while doing all of this. So I do the job that the employees do while doing all of this. And if you slack even a little bit, it's bad. They don't like you at that point. And then if you mess up, the first thing that the managers are going to think of is, hey, remember that guy that he got off that he shouldn't have gotten off? And yeah, you're just an office lady. I have an office, but I prefer to actually work. I wouldn't want to be stuck in a cubicle all day. That would drive me nuts. Because of where I work, I am outside. Rain, snow, shine, always outside. Even on days, so I live in Illinois, even on days when it's like negative 40 with the wind chill, I think the lowest I ever worked on was negative 47 with the wind chill. That was miserable. I was outside. Same thing with the heat. I think on the place where I was at the time, it was like 127. Still outside. See, I don't have the issue because they never get to that point, so I bonk them with the bat. Well, I mean, if I had a bat, I would be using a bat, but the only thing I have is this level 1 wooden club. And I have 0 skill points. I mean, I'm okay with this. This is working out all right. It's working out probably better than any of the bases that I could build. Them squeezing through all the little spots. And I'm so used to a day 70 horde that I feel like this is kind of like light work, you know? I'm used to them squeezing through the scaffolding ladders on me. Construction worker. You just work at home, mama 5. Big family. I do not have any kids. Nothing against kids. Just the opportunity never made it around for me. And now I'm old. I think I'm too old for kids. I wouldn't want to be raising like an 8th grader and being like 60 years old, you know? You put an extra set of catwalk rails behind the first set. Okay. Probably stops them from squeezing through, right? Locks them in that little hole if they do get through. This is working out great. I have no complaints about this. I actually think when I do a playthrough, when I actually get that playthrough started up, something very similar to this is probably what I'm going to use. If they squish through the first one, there won't be anybody. Sorry, I'm trying to aim and read at the same time. I put an extra set of catwalk rails behind the first set. If they switch through the first one, there won't be anyone to squish them through the second. That makes sense. That's actually a really good tip. Putting a whole nother rail here. I know that was a miss, but sometimes I think a lot... My last, like, 5 shots were misses. Sometimes I think a lot of these things... A lot of the times what I think that I hit them should be hits, and they're not. Joke, go away. You had your youngest in your 30s. Yeah. I think I am very happy being a really good dog dad, and I don't know, I'd much rather be a dog dad. There's less responsibilities. I am way too selfish. I enjoy my free time way too much. You had a nephew, but no children of your own? Okay. Again, nothing wrong with people with families. I got 5 nieces and nephews. They're all amazing. Every single last one of them. Just never got around to it. There was always something that got in the way. Always. Thanks, Arlene. Nice, easy shot. You were blessed with twins at 17. Wow. I can't imagine having one kid, but having like especially if that was your first, like pregnancy and you got twins. Man. I know how hard having a dog is, let alone a kid. Twins. I have 2 sisters. One of them has 4 kids and the other one has 2. And I don't know what they did, but they raised their kids right, because all of them are good kids. All of them are respectful. The boys tend to punch me in the face a lot, which is fine. It's just a lot of fun. They like roughhousing. Is this the end of Horde Night? Did we get through all the waves? I didn't see one plague spitter. I thought I heard bees at one point, but I didn't see one. Is that everybody? Oh, somebody before the stream, in my comment on my last video, I think, was asking how the loot cap works, if they're gonna have to build a horde base in each biome. And worked 12-hour shifts and still managed to graduate with a 3.2 GPA. Smarter than I was. I barely classed any of my classes whatsoever. And the thing of it is, I am not school smart. You put a math problem in front of me, nope. Not interested. You put a history book in front of me, I'll read it and love it. But here's the other aspect is, if you put a book in front of me of how to rebuild an engine, I wouldn't be able to translate it for you. But if you put an engine in front of me, I'll rebuild it for you. Very hands-on. But somebody before put a comment in my last video that were asking if they're gonna have to build a horde base in every biome. No, you don't have to build a horde base in every biome. But here's the thing: is if you build a horde base in the pine forest, you're getting the lowest loot cap that there is. So if you, I think it was 90, 100 with the biome badge. Cactus. So if you're in the pine forest and you build your base and you exceed that 100 loot cap, if you're at that level, you're not getting it, the loot that the zombies drop for their bags. That's what you're getting. You're getting level 100 loot. I expect to help a ton if you have no family who help you with the kids. If you have family, yes, that's probably very true. Having a family to help out, which I have a very close family. My mom and dad are still thankfully around. My sisters are, they live far, but it's same thing with my mom and my 2 sisters live far, but they're amazing people. I have a house full of teachers. Both my sisters and my mom are all teachers. You would think having teachers, I would be, you know, a little bit better in school, but nope, not even a little bit. All right, well, I think... There we go. Sorry about that. I think that's probably going to be about it for the stream. We went through a whole bunch of different... minus this. I'm trying to get this so I could see. Unless there's something else, I can go back. Unless there's something else that you guys want to see. Pull this up. Are the storms in the pine forest that you have to shelter from? No, the pine forest, you do not need shelter. There are storms, but you do not need shelter. They do not damage you. All the other ones do. I wouldn't know personally. I never had that myself. Happy for those that do. Yeah, that does suck when you don't have like a support system. They always say, you know, like to raise people you need a village, right? Like I'm sure that's greatly helpful. Well, I just wanted to say thank you guys. If there's last chance for me to test anything else, I can still go back into it. If not, I appreciate everybody that showed up. You guys are amazing. And I'm just now seeing that 21 people are watching. You guys are crazy. Why are 21 of you watching? I'm boring. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. This is literally my like 3rd or 4th stream ever. And the fact that 23 people are watching tells me I'm doing something right, I guess. I don't know. I will see you guys maybe in the next stream. Gonna go have to check out. Thanks, Rebel. Yeah, we're leaving pretty soon too, so thank you very much. That was fun. Catch you another time. Hopefully I can do another stream of this. The only reason I actually was able to get this stream off was because I had a window. Very, very tight window of able to get this done. What music are you using? This is the YouTube's royalty-free music list. It's actually, if you look at the description of this video, all of the music that I have in this stream is in, all of the music is in this, it's in YouTube's royalty-free music. Cool stream, great to check you live. Have a great weekend, everybody. Intro, outro music is too loud, FYI. Thank you for reminding me. I appreciate that, because I do have to turn that down. And I'm gonna do that as soon as I end the stream. And before I gotta close down 7 days because I keep getting stuck in this. Here, I need to, before I change, is this music too loud? I'm guessing it is. It was fun. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Let's go to studio mode so that I can change this. This is... Sorry, I'm trying to change this so that before it switches, it's not gonna blast anybody's ears, right? Hit the like. Thank you, Jay Plays. I appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna try this. I'm sorry. Hey, I survived a blood moon. I'm sorry if this blasts out your ears. Turn your volumes down just in case. We'll find out.